The observation deck of Station Apex hummed with the quiet efficiency of a well-maintained sanctuary, but Duran Vale felt anything but calm. His scales rippled with nervous bioluminescence, a Vexari trait he'd never quite learned to control, as Dr. Kayla Rin led him through the reinforced corridors. The human moved with an ease that seemed almost reckless, her boots echoing against the metal floor with confident rhythm. "You're certain this is safe?" Duran asked for the third time, his vocal sac trembling slightly. Kayla glanced back at him, her expression caught between amusement and patience. "As safe as it gets when you're dealing with apex predators from 9 different worlds." She palmed the security panel, and the massive door began to slide open with a pneumatic hiss. "Just remember, no sudden movements, no high-pitched sounds, and whatever you do, don't run." Duran's 3 hearts hammered in discordant rhythm. As the Galactic Council's newly appointed xenobiological assessor, he'd reviewed the files on Station Apex dozens of times. He knew the statistics, the incident reports, the careful diplomatic language that danced around one uncomfortable truth. Humans had an inexplicable affinity for creatures that should terrify them. The habitat beyond the door was enormous, a careful reconstruction of multiple biomes separated by energy barriers. Duran's eyes widened as he took in the scope of it. Crystalline forests from Theta Hydri glittered beside volcanic rock formations from Ashworld. A shallow pool burbled with what looked like mercury but moved with predatory intelligence. "Welcome to Nursery Section 3, Kayla said, her voice dropping to a softer register. "This is where we keep the juveniles." "Juveniles," Duran repeated weakly. A low rumble echoed through the habitat, not one sound, but several overlapping. Duran's scales flashed bright yellow in alarm as 3 shapes emerged from the crystalline forest. They were each the size of a Vexari adult, covered in plates that shifted between organic and metallic, with too many eyes and mouths that revealed rows of serrated teeth. Shadowmaw cubs, from a death world classified as hazard level 9. They approached with that peculiar gait that young predators had, part curiosity, part hunger, entirely terrifying. Their growls intensified a chorus of threat displays that made Duran's instincts scream at him to flee. He froze completely, every muscle locked in place. The cubs circled him, their multiple eyes fixed on his trembling form. The growling grew louder, and Duran felt certain these were his final moments. His career with the Galactic Council, his family's honor, his entire existence all about to end in a human's foolish sanctuary. Then Kayla spoke, her voice carrying that infuriatingly calm tone. "That means they like you." "Like me?" Duran's voice cracked across 3 octaves. "Dr. Rin, they're clearly preparing to play," Kayla interrupted, moving closer to the cubs without hesitation. She knelt beside the largest one, running her hand along its plated hide. The creature's growl softened into something that almost resembled a purr. "The growling is how they communicate comfort and acceptance. If they didn't like you, they'd be silent. That's when you should worry." Duran watched in horror as the other 2 cubs pressed against the human, their massive forms dwarfing her slight frame. She laughed, actually laughed, as one of them nuzzled her shoulder with enough force to knock over a small vehicle. "You see," Kayla continued, scratching behind what Duran assumed was an ear. "Most species run or fight when confronted by apex predators. It's sensible, evolutionary, but humans?" She looked up at him with a grin that showed too many teeth. "We learned to read them, understand them. These cubs, they're testing you." The growl is an invitation. The smallest cub had moved behind Duran and was now pressing its snout against his back. The growl it produced vibrated through his entire skeletal structure. "What do I do?" Duran whispered. "Stop being afraid," Kayla said simply. "Or at least stop showing it so obviously. Shadowmaws can sense fear, but they don't exploit it the way you'd think. To them, fear without aggression is just interesting. You're interesting." Duran forced himself to breathe, to regulate his bioluminescence. Slowly, carefully, he extended one hand toward the cub in front of him. Its eyes, all 6 of them, focused on his movement. The growling continued, steady and rhythmic. His fingers touched warm scales. The cub leaned into the contact. "There you go," Kayla encouraged. "They're just babies." Well, babies that could tear through starship hull plating, but babies nonetheless. "How did humans ever survive their homeworld?" Duran asked, finding his voice again. "Your planet is classified as a death world. Apex predators in every biome. Yet you're also..." casual about creatures like this. Kayla stood, brushing dust from her pants. That's exactly why. When everything wants to kill you, you learn to make friends instead. We domesticated wolves while they could still easily kill us. We kept cats that saw us as convenient feeding stations. We learned to read body language to communicate across species barriers. She gestured to the cubs, now all pressing against Duran in what he supposed was affection. These guys, they're not so different from Earth predators, just bigger, angrier, more likely to accidentally crush you while asking for belly rubs. Another rumble came from deeper in the habitat. This one deeper, more resonant. The cubs' ears perked up and they immediately bounded off toward the volcanic rocks. That would be their mother, Kayla said casually. She's probably wondering why I haven't brought her lunch yet. Come on, I'll introduce you. Absolutely not, Duran said firmly. I have assessed enough for today. Kayla laughed, that same unsettling human sound. Fair enough. But you'll need to come back tomorrow. The council wants a full report on all our residents. As they walked back toward the exit, Duran glanced over his shoulder. The three cubs had returned to watch them leave, their growls fading into the distance. He realized with some surprise that his scales had shifted to a calm blue. Perhaps humans weren't as insane as the rest of the galaxy believed. Perhaps they'd simply learned to speak a language the rest of them had been too afraid to understand. The language of Earth's ancient predators, translated across the stars. Or perhaps, Duran thought as the door sealed behind them, they were exactly that insane, and that's what made them remarkable.